Welcome to another edition of Terrific Tools Tuesday. I am so excited to be sharing my Cuttlebug with you this week. I've waited because there was something that I wanted to try before I did, and I was able to try that last week, and so I'm going to show you some of the things that this little machine can do. This is a machine also made by ProvoCraft. This is the older model of the machine, or the tool. They have a newer model out that I haven't tried to use. They also have extension plates, which I have not purchased yet, but this is a really good little tool. The first thing I want to show you is it has a handle, so I can just pick it up and carry it. Now, my name's on it because I took it to a crop. I have removed my cutting mat because the bottom of the feet here have little rubber pads, and so when I pull out the machine like this, it helps adhere the machine to the table so it doesn't move. It has a handle here on the side, which may be a little bit off camera. If it is, I apologize. So it also, of course, comes with a user manual, like most things do, and I have kept this and I use it frequently, and the reason why is because it also comes with different plates. Now, so far, everything I've ever cut, I've used this. This is the A plate. Now, these plates are replaceable, and you can just purchase them at craft stores or online, and I can see that sometimes you will need to replace them. So this is the A plate, and that's a basic one that you use all the time, and it just fits right in the base there when I need to use it. It then also comes with two B plates. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see on camera or not, but my B plate, one of them is starting to get scratched up from some cuts that I made, and so that's how I know I'll need to replace them. And then the other thing it comes with, and I've never even used this one, is the C plate. So each of these plates have a different job to do. You don't always use the A plate, and I'll show you when you don't. The Cuttlebug itself, you can purchase dies and embossing plates. Now, when I purchased this machine, I purchased it for embossing because I had my Cricut, and I thought I didn't need another cutting machine, a die cutting machine. And honestly, I don't cut a lot of dies with it because I do have my Cricut, and I can turn a 1/2 inch image into a 10-inch image if I want to. So I don't use it a lot, but there are a few times that I have used it. And I'm going to start by showing you how to use the cutting feature. Now, these dies tend to be very inexpensive. I found a bunch online. This reminds me of no whining. I would make a sign out of that saying no whining. But I found a bunch of these on clearance online for like less than $1, 33 cents, 50 cents. And so I had picked up a bunch of these really inexpensively. But this is a cutting die. It's metal on the top, and then it's got foam on the back like your typical cutting dies. So to use the Cuttlebug cutting die, you put your A plate in, and then you put your B plate down. And then I am going to take my die and put it upside down, and this is just how I do it. And then I'm going to put my paper on top of that, and I will set that in the middle of my B plate. Then I take my second B plate and I slide that in, so I'm making a sandwich. If you see it, this is my sandwich here. So then I put that through my Cuttlebug machine, and I just simply go through like that, and it comes out the other side. And so now I have my little sign so I can say no whining or whatever I want to say here. Just no. So that's one of the things that you can do with it. Now, the thing that I bought my Cuttlebug for, and what I use all the time, and if you watch my videos, I usually don't drag the Cuttlebug out to do this. I usually do it off camera, but I use it for embossing on my cards. So I have a piece of cardstock here that I cut. This is a piece of textured cardstock that I had in my scrap bin. I believe it's from the paper company from Hobby Lobby. And actually this one has a white core, and I'll show you why I chose this one in just a minute. So this is a Cuttlebug embossing folder. So when you open it up, one side is rigid and the other side is smooth, so that they don't walk inside of each other, but they do move inside of each other. And what that does is it leaves an impression. So then I put my base. Now I cut this so that the paper will not go to waste. I can use it on a card later. So again, I'm going to make my sandwich. I'm going to use the A plate, I'm going to use the B plate, I'm going to use my embossing folder with my piece of paper in it, and then I'm going to use my second B plate, and I'm going to make my sandwich. I want to be sure that I don't go below where it says B plate. There's a little line that says place your material above that. And then I'm going to run that through my Cuttlebug. Now you could also, if you wanted to, you could take your ink pad and ink the maybe the smooth side or either side of this, and then run your material through it and give it an inked effect. Another thing that you can do, which I have not tried before, but I thought I would for this video, is you can take a sanding block. My sanding block's kind of put away, so I'm just going to take a fingernail file. Now this side has the holes where the holes push through. This side has the raised holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my fingernail file and I'm going to lightly sand the top. I do have a sanding block, I just didn't get it out today. And what it does is, because this is a white core paper, it some of that white comes through and it gives it a little more distressed look. Very neat. Now these folders are not expensive at all. If you pay full retail for a single folder, it might be as much as $5.99, but they are frequently on sale at the craft stores. This one, the original price on it from Hobby Lobby was $4.99, and I probably got it for either 30 or 40% off. I would say probably about once a month, each of the main craft stores put these on sale. So you're able to kind of build up a good supply for very little money, $2 or $3 for these. They also have these smaller ones. I actually got this one on a clearance rack for $1.49, and this came with 4 little ones. This one has a little pea with a little face sticking out. This one has an umbrella like what you would use for a baby shower. This one says it's a girl, and this one says sweet pea. And I was working on some invitations for a baby shower and then a baby shower card for a lady in our church, and when I saw this, I thought this will be perfect for that. I knew it was coming up, and so you just make little ones. With these, I actually made, for the card, I made a quarter card where I took the face of the card and did 4 different things, and then I just in different colors, pastel colors, I embossed little tiny ones. You can look back on the blog and see that if you want. So again, it's very versatile that way. They also come in large sets. Now these are a little more expensive. This set is called Retro Kitchen, and it goes kind of with the Cricut cartridges, the kitchen cartridges, but this one actually has looks like 4 dies in it, 2 large dies and then 2 smaller dies. And this one I actually got at the Scrapbooking Expo, so I paid a little bit less for it, but these run about $20. But again, when they go on 40% off, you can get them there, or when you go use a coupon, you can get, if there's one you really want. They have them in several that coordinate with several of the different Cricut cartridges. There's one for Animal Kingdom, and they just have it for many of the Cricut cartridges so that you can coordinate and make your cards and do the embossing folders for those. They also, let's see, this is one that's called Clockworks. But the use of the machine does not stop there. Just because it doesn't say Cuttlebug doesn't mean you can't use it. I have these Sizzix embossing folders from Tim Holtz Alterations. These are the texture trade cards, and they run through just like the regular embossing folders do. There's a video that I use, my old car card video. I use this old car in there, so you can see how to do that. You can also use other companies' thin dies. I haven't purchased any of those, but when I think of those, I think of like the Spellbinders Nestabilities, or maybe the Quick Cuts, and you kind of will probably have to play with it. Now the user manual suggests that when you're using thin dies from other companies, then instead of using the B plate, you use the C plate. It's a little bit thicker than the B plate, and I'm not sure if you make the sandwich with the A plate, the B plate, and the C plate, or how you do it exactly, because I've never done it. I haven't purchased any of those, but I do have it handy here if I ever decide to purchase it. The other thing you can do, and this is what I was waiting for the video, when I switched to the Cricut, I got rid of all of my old Sizzix dies. And honestly, I don't really miss them. They took up a lot of space. They weren't as versatile. However, I have, as you well know from being on the blog, I really like Tim Holtz. Well, Tim Holtz doesn't have any Cricut dies, so I was hoping that I could purchase a Tim Holtz Sizzix die and run it through the Cuttlebug. I had seen other people do it on YouTube, and it's actually very simple, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So if you're using one of these thick dies, the user manual suggests that you do not use your A plate at all, this big thick one. Obviously this is thick in and of itself. So what you're going to just use is your B plate and slide that in, and then you'll use your second B plate on top. Now I recently, if you look at the blog, you'll see a card that I made using this die. This is the sewing room die. It has a dress form and a spool and a little button in the corner. And so that's what I used this for. I made a big, like a business size card. So this is a piece of thin chipboard instead of, because it's a tough die, I know it can handle it, and then I use that to layer my images on when I made my card the other day. So I make my sandwich. I use my A plate. I put my Sizzix die, my B plate. I put my Sizzix die down. I then put my chipboard down, and then I use my second B plate, and here's my sandwich. And now I'm ready. Looks like I needed to cut down that. Let me cut down that paper real quick. It's a little bit big, and I may have cut it a little bit short. I'm not really using this for anything. So then I make it through, and I run it through just like I did all my Sizzix dies, holding the top of it, holding some pressure on it, and it cuts beautifully right through my chipboard here. So here's my plate, and then I could go back. I have not tried cutting fabric with this, but I don't see why you couldn't, because it's the die that's cutting the fabric. I don't see why you couldn't do the other things. But then I put my pattern paper on top of my dress form, and I had a cute little card that I made very quickly with that. So it's exciting how versatile this is, so that for those few Tim Holtz dies that I do want, this one is one. There's a couple others that I want to purchase. I know I can still use it even though I don't have my Sizzix machines anymore. I also don't need to purchase a Vagabond or a Big Shot or anything. I can run it right through the Cuttlebug for the job for no more than what I will use it. It's not worth buying a whole machine for. I wouldn't do it. So that is the Cuttlebug. There's so many possibilities that you can do with it. I'm so excited to be able to have my Cuttlebug, and I use it a lot. Again, I use it mostly for the embossing. I don't do much cutting with it, but it's nice to have the versatility to be able to do that. So thanks for watching. Keep an eye out if you're interested in these. I see them all over. You can even get them off of eBay. People put them on sale frequently. I don't know what the current retail price is. I've had mine for a while, and I know with the new one coming out, prices may have changed. So, you know, you'll just have to keep an eye on that. But definitely keep an eye out for it, and it's a great machine to have. So thanks for watching, and have a great Tuesday. Bye.